Oh shit, here we go again. Here we go, 3 weeks out from Haynes Farm, deadlifting today. I don't exactly know what the plan is. The plan is to listen to my body. That's what the plan is. It's a bit windy, hopefully that don't sound too bad. Yeah, I don't know where my body's going to be at today, so I'm just going to warm up, see how I feel. If my body feels off, then I'll do some like technique-y stuff. If my body feels good, then I'll put some decent work in today with whatever number. I really don't care. It doesn't really matter at this point. What matters is getting the correct level of stimulus for what my body is up for today. I've had a fair few days rest. What have I had? Last training session was on Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. So I've had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, so 4 days rest. And I've done that on purpose. I just didn't feel good. I think a lot of that was mental. Let's turn these headphones off. I think a lot of that was mental as to why I was not feeling particularly good. I think that was starting to impact on training. I think maybe I'd accumulated some fatigue out of nowhere. I mean, I didn't have like a structured deload, just waving through RPEs and then wave back through RPEs and wave back through RPEs. I'm definitely better with, okay, this week is a deload week and we're prioritizing recovery. Not we're training but not training hard, but training hard but not training hard, because then I get maybe a little bit confused and emotionally involved. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today's session. I have been looking forward to today's session for a few days now as well, which is really, really positive. I feel good in myself. I definitely feel a lot better. Because I've got a little bit of surplus income from no longer working with Shane, my brain goes to what can I use that money for to benefit myself. So I've started working with a lady called Alexandra Alexa, who is a mindset coach. And she's also a bit of a therapist as well. But I'm not like, this isn't like, you know, oftentimes when you think of someone that's going for therapy, it's because they've been through a load of trauma and they're in a really bad way and, you know, PTSD and this, that and the other. None of that's the case for me. My life's really good. And for the most part, I really enjoy it. I just don't like the bits where I don't. And there's some stuff there that needs work in terms of how I respond to things. There's traits that I've got that have been there for literally my whole life that I want to work on, because I know to get to the level that I want to get to, not just in strongman, but in business, but also as a family man as well. A lot needs to change with me mentally. And that's not because I've got really poor mental health anymore. I'll be honest, I haven't. I've got the up and downs that everyone has, but it's the way that I respond to certain situations that's far from ideal. And it's limiting my ability to progress now. Like, I'm getting in my own way for the first time ever, so it seems. So yeah, generally all is positive, and I think Alexandra is going to be the one to help me unlock new mental potential, and then I can start to really employ that with my training as well. So yeah, really excited to be working with her. Did my first session with her on Friday, which, you know, you don't come off those sessions feeling like you've got a load off your chest and you're really relieved like people would think you would. If anything, you come off those sessions feeling fucking shit, and you just feel very heavy and very groggy and horrible, which is to be expected. But then when your feet come back on the ground, she's got tasks for you to do to be able to write some stuff down. And what it's doing is it's helping me to build like a vision of who I want to become and where I want to be, and what that person does, and what skills that person has that allows them to get to that kind of a level. And instantly, because that's now laid out as a journey for progression, I'm in. Do you know what I mean? I'm excited, I'm interested. So yeah, that's where I'm at, man, which is quite exciting. I don't think there's any shame in it. You know, even if you think, you know, you're doing all right, but you think you're held back, it's probably a fantastic time to take on, you know, a therapist of some sort, just to help you regulate that a little bit better. Because I know that if I regulate my emotions a little bit better, one, I'll be more appreciative of the stuff that I've done, and two, I'm probably going to be even more driven and focused to be able to achieve the things that I'm aiming to do, the goals that I've set for myself. So that's where I'm at, man. It's really fucking exciting. It is really, really exciting, especially with the goals that I've set myself. It's no secret that I want to get to Giants Live. That goal at the moment feels like a million miles away, but I know I can do it. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't care. It might take me 2 years, might take me fucking 8 years. I don't care. But I also, the big part of bringing Alexandra on, what that's going to help me to allow myself to do is to enjoy the journey more. Be that little bit more present, because I have a habit of locking in like a motherfucker, like everyone else wants to do. And I do a really good job of that, but then I end up so tunnel vision that I appreciate and care for fuck all other than the goal, which is great if you're filming a blood and gut story in Yates video, but terrible when you've got a 5-year-old son and a beautiful wife that, you know, do everything for me and would do anything for me. And sometimes you feel like you come across unappreciative, or the fact that I own a gym, and often it doesn't feel like it's my gym. So yeah, I've got some work to do there, which, like I've already said quite a few times, I am excited about. I'm also excited about this session, so very open-minded, and won't be upset if I don't deadlift above 270 today. I'd like to, but I don't care if I don't. I just want to enjoy the session, do some sandbag rows afterwards and some other back movements and stuff, get nice and sore tomorrow. That'll make me feel good too. So yeah, things are looking good. 110% committed to competing at Haynes now. There's no more yo-yoing on that. I've got to be locked in for that. I've reminded myself, and again, working with Alexandra has allowed that to happen, that I can be, I need to enjoy the process. I love strongman. She asked me some goals within strongman. She asked me why I competed in strongman, and just writing down multiple times how much I love the sport, how much I love the training, reminded me and just made me just think, what the hell am I doing, man? Like, I should really be doing this comp. Like, yeah, I'm not going to be at my best and whatever. Maybe that means I lose. Who cares? Let's just go and have a good time and get another comp under our belt, especially at Haynes Farm, because the comps are so good. So I will be in Oxford in May. So exciting stuff. The boss has just arrived. She's just pulled up and she's brought my singlet because I left it at home. Cheers, babe. That's what I mean. So they will literally do anything for me, and it makes me feel terrible when I recognise in reflection that I've been unappreciative. I never notice in the moment, and that's what I need to catch, and that's why I'm working with Alexandra. Right, let's go get fucking massive. Let's see how we get on. Yeah, boy. So in reality, that was always going to go that way, but there was also a chance that it might not, simply because last week, very heavy single, failed it, central nervous system, clipped to fuck. Kind of expected that today everything's going to feel a bit gross, but then at the same time, I've also decompressed quite a lot since that session and allowed myself to relax and been a lot happier. But it's not quite enough. You can't beat science at the end of the day, and I can tell that I'm just not firing. Central nervous system's not great. That's totally cool. So that was 263 on there, which is not heavy for me at all. I've done 270 for 5 on this, and that 263 felt like an RPE, maybe 8 with a gun to my head, possibly 9, 8/9. So now I'm going to work into some 180 kilos. I'm just going to do a few sets of 2, nothing crazy. Just looking at positioning. I'm using the smooth bar today, which hasn't got any knurling on it, which does create a little bit of guesswork as far as positioning, but that's okay because that's what we're going to have at comp. So utilising the smooth bar today. I do find this pull more difficult, I think. I don't think my deadlift is in a great spot, but the way this setup is it gives me like a 3-inch run up into my sticking point, which is at my knees. I always stick just before my patellas. Once I cleared my knees, the rest is history, which is bizarre because that never used to be a thing for me, and it's definitely something that I need to work on going forwards, and work out why I'm sticking there and how to fix that issue. Maybe some pulls work at the knee is necessary in off season. But I'm not going to throw the toys out of the pram about that. I'm just going to enjoy some doubles here, work on some positioning stuff, see if I can get this popping nice, and then get into some back work. Alrighty, that's definitely upside down. Let's see if we can give it a boner and turn it the right way up. Is that better? That'll do us, won't it? Yeah, mega interesting session really. Like, obviously the deadlifts weren't fantastic and felt a bit weak. So then I'm very open-minded going into my accessories. Sandbag rows, gym 80 row, T-bar row. Not expecting to feel good on them, and it's some of my strongest work ever. That was a 136 kilo sandbag, I think it is, might even be 140. Felt really light. I stumbled with it a couple of times, but it felt really light, which is just awesome. Bearing in mind I had a 150 sandbag at England's Most Powerful last year, and although that was a floppy sandbag, it felt like the world. I'm quite keen to get that sandbag filled up and see if I can get to a point where I can do sandbag rows with that. That would be fucking cool. Gym 80 row, never done 6.5 plates before. If you're watching that as like a bit of a bodybuilding movement, it's not. Obviously it's a lat builder, but it's just a back and stability builder, trunk builder, the lot. I really like that because the weight's so heavy at the bottom of the movement that it forces you to control it on the way down and stay with it. And then I can really use a little bit of momentum and my lat, really connect my lat. Oh, fucking hell, my lats hurt now, but to pull them into a good contraction. Inevitably that contraction has a touch of momentum in it, but then I'll catch the load on the way down into a big stretch, and it just gets heavier on the way down as it works on its axis. I fucking love that machine. Without doubt, one of my favourite machines in my gym. Great piece of kit that I don't get to use enough, so glad to have that one back in, and that was a PB on there. I think I got 8 reps per side. It was 6.5 plates per side. I think it was 8 reps, I'd have to watch it back. And then the T-bar row, I haven't actually used that T-bar row in a long time, and I think somewhere around 4 plates for, did I do 10 reps? Again, I'd have to watch that back. I don't really count in a moment, I just work. But that felt really light as well. Like, it's very weird how in those movements I'm very aware that my body wants to be strong, but with this deadlift movement I'm just not there. I think that's possibly like with my axle press. I am actually really strong at the moment. My technique is just all over the place, which is stopping me from extracting all of the strength that I'm capable of. I definitely found a groove when I pulled 275 on that axle deadlift, however many sessions ago that was. But it's cool, like I ticked that box today, learned some stuff, keen to get into it next week. Next week will be my last heavy session as well. So hopefully I can pull, you know, something around 280, 290 next week would be nice. Just to tick that off, solidify that, send that neurological signal, and then rest right up until competition. Certainly rest the deadlift anyway. That's the plan. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to navigate it and see. Be as open-minded as I possibly can. I know that I can pull 300 on that setup when I get it right, if not more. Like, realistically, with a little bit more time, skill acquisition, rep work, you know, that sort of a movement doesn't hurt me. So it's an easy position for me to get into because of my size. It's quite comfortable because it's higher. Realistically, I'd like to think, like, the original goal was to pull between sort of 320 and 340. Like 330 was the number that was really screaming out at me. I'm very aware that that's not going to happen now, but I'm cool with that. You know, within in 3.5 weeks' time, a Haynes Farm Open will be an afterthought, and I'll be locked on to the next goal, which will be Boston's strongest and Hampshire's strongest. So, yeah, happy with that session. Got some conditioning to finish off with now. I'm going to put my fucking trainers on, put my Nike Airs on, mate. I'm not even sure what they are. Metcons. I'll put them on, and I'm going to knock out 100 calories on the assault bike, see what kind of time I can get that in, get blowing out my arse, do some calf raises and call it a day. So, but I'm going to sign this out here because you don't need to watch me blowing out my arse. Imagine me pedaling on a bike, that's what it looks like. Until next time, peace, love and cake.